Welcome to Fit in Fitness, the podcast that proves movement isn't just for the gym, it's for life. I'm Carly Fouth, also known as Fit Fun Carly. I'm a cancer survivor, fitness mentor, and founder of the Fit in Fitness method. This all started from my chemo chair, where I began sharing stories to bring hope and resilience to people going through cancer. Now I'm taking it further, expanding beyond my own breast cancer fight to highlight people from all walks of life who've used movement and mindset to overcome life's biggest curveballs. Whether you're facing illness, lost, or just feeling stuck, these are stories of grit, joy, and the small, powerful steps that can change everything. Welcome back to the Fit in Fitness podcast. I am so excited. I have been looking forward to this all week. It's a Saturday. I don't usually do podcast recordings on a Saturday, but I was like, I will do whatever it takes to get these lovely people on my podcast. So today I'm joined by one of my favorite couples on social media, Tim and Tolly Sherry. And Tolly, I love your name. I didn't say that before we hit record, but it's an adorable name.
Thank you.
And if you've ever smiled while scrolling past one of their dance videos, you are not alone. And what I love most isn't just the dancing, it's what the dancing represents. And in a world that often makes movement feel complicated, which I talk about a lot, I think that Tim and Tolly remind us that joy, connection, and a little bit of fun can be enough. Their videos have inspired people of all ages, including cancer patients and caregivers, to get up, move their bodies, and find a moment of happiness in the middle of real life. And real life can be tough. They are the perfect example of what I call fit in fitness. You know, that is my platform, finding ways to move that fit into your life, your relationships, and your current situation. And today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about movement, marriage, aging, joy, and the unexpected impact of simply showing up as yourselves, because that is what you guys do. You are so, so authentic. Welcome to the show, Tim and Tolly.
Thank
Awesome
you.
to be here.
Yeah.
I'm
Great.
so excited. So for those who are not familiar with you right now, but will be, why don't you tell our listeners about how this all started? And it started with a dance that you and your son did at his wedding, Tolly, right?
That is correct. Yes. So our younger son, Brad, and I ended up, I didn't want to do a traditional type of mother-son dance, slow dance, sort of heartbreaking type of I'm losing my son. We've always danced with our children when they were little and we were in the grind, working, going to school, and we'd make it through the week and come home and put on the fun dancing music. And I mean, even when they were little, we danced together with them. So it seemed very appropriate because dance is so joyful for us that our son, Brad, who lives locally, was able to come out and we ended up choreographing it together. And he is quite the dancer himself. He actually had a little following on TikTok and that thing during COVID, but it worked out great. He would, introduce a move. I would introduce a move. We rehearsed it, and then we performed it at the wedding, and it was quite a hit. And then good old Tim and his love of social media, he can take it from here, but he ended up posting it after the wedding. So
that was September 20th of last year. And the day after the wedding, I posted their dance, and I just knew it was amazing. And I posted it, and the next day, all of a sudden, I'm like, where are all these comments? We had maybe a couple hundred followers. We would post a couple times a year, fun family stuff. We just never did anything serious. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, where are these follows and likes coming from? 2 days later, our oldest son, who ironically is getting married next week, he sent us a video of Tolly and I dancing. We could request songs from the DJ, just one song. Our song was Planet Rock, which is an old school. I was a DJ for 10 years. One of our go-tos is Planet Rock. He sends that to us. I post that a couple days later, and all of a sudden, I'm like, this is like going crazy. Now, 7 million views later, it just went nuts on Instagram and TikTok. And from that point on, our daughter-in-law, who Brad married, Amanda, she's a content creator on social media. She's like, all right, you're going to have to start doing some things on a regular basis. You're going to have to start posting. So we just came up with these ideas of creating dance videos to old school funk, because that's my past. And from that point on, fast forward 9 months later, we have 300,000 followers just on Instagram. TikTok's like another 200 something. And this thing is just taking a life of its own.
That is incredible. And I when I first found you guys, I want to know, like, do either one of you have a dance background, like professional dance background?
Not professionally. I danced in a company when I was in high school, and then also in college. There was a dance company in college. And then after that, I did some choreography for some high school musicals, but it's something that's always come naturally to me, and it's natural to Tim. I think when we met in college, he sort of thought, well, if I'm going to keep up with this girl, I better learn how to dance. So he's great
I
at
love that.
freestyle, and that's my tiny little background history. Nothing professional. There's a million wonderful dancers out there that have much more training and FaceTime than me, for sure.
But you guys, I know how hard it is to get the timing right, especially when you're lip syncing on social media. And I know that it's probably difficult at times, or maybe it isn't, but for me it is. And you make it look so effortless. Like it doesn't even look like you're trying. Do you have to do these are there a lot of takes that you have to do, or is it just like one hit wonder? What's the situation like?
I always tell people it's usually around 5 to 10 takes.
Okay.
But we download, I'll think of songs. I have all these songs in my brain, that little brain of mine, and I'll go to TikTok and I'll download the 1-minute clips that they have available, because you have to use their clips. And we'll take those clips and all the raps, like I know all the raps. So it's like, I know the lyrics. It's not a big deal for that. But then Tolly, I'm always amazed when she comes up with all these dances. I'm like, how do you keep coming up with all these different dances? And then and a lot of times, like, the Chaka Khan one that went viral, and I'm trying to get through the beginning of Chaka Khan. I look in the background and she's moving her hand around. I'm like, what are you doing? This is so freaking funny. And I'm like, just go with it. So we just ad lib, and all of a sudden, like 5 to 10 takes later, we'll get, we feel we're confident, we'll go with it.
That's amazing. And it's so much fun for you to do together too. And that's the first thing. Maybe I'll start with that comment, because there was a couple things that I wanted to talk to you about why I think what you're doing resonates with me and what I do. And we'll start with that one first. It's that I know that a lot of people, when they get to a certain stage of their life, and I'm not quite there, but my kids are getting older, it's like the empty nest stage where you feel like you kind of have to reinvent yourself a little bit or figure out new ways of doing things. I have a lot of friends going through it. And I think that you guys are so like a really great example of people who are coming into this new age and then getting this big social media following and showing that you can still have fun and enjoy your bodies and enjoy the relationship you have in this new era. Has that been a seamless transition for you? Has this helped that kind of transition, or what has that been like for you?
Well, the empty nesting started 13 years ago, 2013.
Okay. So you're beyond that.
Yeah, so that happened a long time ago.
There's definitely a process. I think it's very slow going. So the children leave, and then sometimes they come back as they're getting into adulthood, and then a roommate situation, messes up, and then somebody else comes back. So it's definitely, I think, very fluid. It's not very abrupt, because I think as children are getting older, at just launching into adulthood, I think can be very difficult for these kids at this time and world that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
And so it's not like a light switch where it clicks on and click off. So then I think finally, as they are are settled in, they are getting married and things like that, then Tim and I are at a time and a headspace that we could also do this, and by the blessing of the wedding videos and such, Tim has wanted to do this probably for 5 years. And then with that footage from the wedding, it sort of kickstarted, gave actually me the confidence. Well, maybe because I was pushing back. I have to be honest. I was like, I'm not into that nonsense, but it's worked out. It really has. So
yeah, it's like you've reinvented yourselves together, and you've leaned into what Tim wanted to do.
That's right.
And that was hard too. But I feel like that would be great for your relationship too, because it's just taking on a new meeting, and you get to have this new fun thing that it's like starting it. It is like a business. You're starting a new business together, and you're enjoying it, and it's so much fun. So I applaud you for that. I think you're great role models in that department. The other thing I'm really drawn to is the fact that in almost every interview I've read that you have done, you talk about the fact that there are a lot of cancer patients who are watching your videos, or people who are up against big things, and they're finding joy in your videos. And as somebody who went through the whole cancer experience, I totally know what that feels like, to be scrolling through Instagram on those bad days and then to have something pop up and make you feel so much hope and joy. I also think it's interesting because what you are doing in your kitchen and moving your body as a cancer exercise specialist is something that I usually help my clients with who are going through cancer understand that, yes, moving your body and dancing to your favorite song in your kitchen is in fact exercise. And on the days where you feel so crappy, that can be the thing that kind of sparks some joy and helps you feel better both physically and mentally. What are some of the messages that you've received from people? I can imagine that's so meaningful for you to get those messages. Do any stick out for you about of any comments or messages you received from people?
There's so many. It's overwhelming, but overwhelming in a
Yeah.
really good way.
Oh, the best.
Yeah, I got one this morning, and I didn't. I usually do a screenshot. I send it to our family, which is our 2 boys and wife and fiance, soon to be wife, in another week, and we call it the Big Six. It's our family group chat, and I'll just send screenshots of comments from people. And I just got some. I can't remember what happened. Got one this morning. Someone's been through battling cancer and how much our videos do for it. It's just unbelievable. Someone lost a family member like 3 days ago, and they go to our videos, and there's a famous Hollywood director. His name is Philip Penza, and I'm going to give him props because he just reposted us today. And he has this long-winded saying how he's, when he's on the movie set, he's stressed. He looks at our videos and he copied all his Hollywood friends saying how much our videos do for them. It's really incredible, and it makes us feel really good. It makes us, feel that this is all worth it. But Tolly, I don't know if you want to add.
Well, I think in another interview, whoever we were talking to had talked about we're almost not like in the dance category as far as social media. We're more in a relationship category.
Mhm.
And so with splintering a lot of joy, a lot of uplifting, silly, funny energy, a lot of I don't know, just making people feel loved in some way, or just giving them, it's like giving them a big hug. It's sort of like a love fest out there. Just
Yes.
very, sure, we're dancing and Tim's being silly with his air instruments and he's rapping, but there's some sort of connectivity going on that is beyond what we ever imagined doing. And we're so grateful to be connecting with people that really, really need it, that are in a dark place, and to fill them with a little bit of joy and hope and blessings. We're grateful to be the ones to share that energy with them. So
What could be better than that? I just think that is the nicest thing that could come from all this. I know whenever I get an email or somebody saying that I said something or did something to make them feel better, I feel like that's the true meaning of life. Like that's what
that's
I
right.
was put here to do. Yeah. I love that.
100%. I totally agree with you.
It's the best. And so, Tim, you're a co-founder of a charity for cancer. It is the Bringing Hope Home, right?
Bringing home, right. So just a quick story on that. My college buddy and I, we started this actually a big dinner called the Great Guys Dinner, which is, it started out as all guys. It was 100 knucklehead friends of ours from college. We got together, raised money for the American Cancer Society at the time. And we're in the Philadelphia area. So there's the Philly Six, there's Jay Wright from Villanova, Phil Martelli from St. Joseph, basketball coach, college basketball coaches. They would join us every year because our money went to Coaches versus Cancer for the first 10 years or so. This is while Paul's wife was battling cancer. She unfortunately passed in 2003. And then 2008, we formed our own foundation. Paul now does this full time. He's the CEO. We have like 10 full-time employees. I'm just a volunteer. I'm on the board of directors. But since 2008, I think we've raised, don't hold me to these numbers. I think we've raised over 12 million and we've helped 10 or 12,000 families. So what we do is we pay essential household bills for families with cancer, primarily in the Philadelphia tri-state area, but that's now grown into 3 other states, New York, Connecticut, and Maryland. So it's 6 states and we raise about $3 million a year. But it's a great feel good and, helping families with cancer that are going through a really tough battle.
But
That is needed.
it was Paul's wife. It was her idea as she's going through these treatments. She was very warm and loving and would become friendly as she's sitting there. You're in the same waiting room as people. I mean, and she's getting her chemo, and it's just, you see the same regular people. And she always felt uplit, like just some sort of message was coming across to her that no matter how bad she felt she was going through, somebody else had it worse than them. And so somebody's electric had just been turned off, or they couldn't pay their rent for the next couple months. And so it really was her conversations with Paul after she'd leave her treatment, and getting to know these wonderful people that were also going through this horrible battle. That was the inspiration of that she wanted to see this vision to help the others that are really struggling to make those, get those household bills paid. So that was
What a legacy. That's so
yeah,
great that it was her idea as
yeah,
she was going through it.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I remember doing something similar where I mean, I was obviously so nervous to go in for chemo and nobody wants to go through that. And even if I was feeling so like garbage, every time I walked through the doors of chemo, I would just say to myself, okay, you know what? My job is to just make people smile. And that made me feel better. So I'm sure that was going through her head too. It's like, you're in it with people, but the only
Yeah,
way that you can make a sense of it and give it purpose is to take it and use it to empower others or help others moving forward. I love
exactly.
that. I
Yeah.
love that. You guys are all about doing good things for people. It's amazing on so many levels. So my whole philosophy with fitness is called Fit in Fitness. And I really try to help people find simple ways to move in their everyday life because I think a lot of people find fitness overwhelming. And I just want them to find that connection, that feel good connection, and then you can progress. But I think there's so many ways to find that. But I love that you two are not filming in a studio or you don't have these elaborate productions. So you kind of have the same idea as I have with fitness, where it doesn't have to be in a fancy gym. It could be like, it can be right in your kitchen. Do you think part of your success is showing people that movement doesn't have to be complicated to be meaningful? Do you think that's a big part of it?
Yeah, that's a great part of it. I always, when people say, but I can't dance, I'm like, I go, just keep it simple. I just said, just, keep, real small baby steps with the rhythm of the music, whatever you hear. It doesn't have to be any fancy choreography or anything. It could just move your body, as simple as it is.
Yeah.
And Carly, just to add to that, you're about fitness, and I'm a fitness freak. Like I'm really over the top. Like we got married in 1989, and if you saw our honeymoon picture, you're like, all right, who's that lard? Because I never went to the gym, and then I want to say,
Really?
oh,
I can't even imagine.
oh, you should see this. I mean, I wasn't really heavy, but I was just
Yeah.
completely just, out of shape. And then I took a year later, a couple buddies of mine, they wanted to start going to the gym early in the morning. We did this 5 a.m. routine, and that was 1990. And 36 years later, I have a crazy routine. Like I'm up at Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm up at 3:30 in the morning. I go to like 2 gyms, I run, and then I
Gee,
go. I'm like 6 days a week. I have this crazy, we're both over 60. So it's like, you got to get that body moving because it's crucial. Yeah.
it is so and you think like I'm just going through it too with the whole perimenopause and menopause thing, and things hurt, but I always think to myself they'd hurt so much more if I wasn't moving. Like if you're going to when you move, things will bother you, but not to the point of the body completely breaking down.
We have a lot of friends that complain about their bodies, and I'll tell them flat out, I'm like, because you don't move. It's what happens. You don't get
Good,
it.
Tim, you're spreading my message. I love it.
I get angry when people like, oh,
Me
my
too.
knee hurts. I'm like, you know what? Get off your ass and start working out. Get to the gym. So it's, yeah.
But
Me
Tim's
too.
work, I'm sorry to interrupt. His
No,
work,
no, it's a good.
it's a little over the top. I am much more low key about all of it, and
Yeah.
it has worked just fine for me.
Yeah,
Yes,
but that's a good point too, because fitness isn't one size fits all.
that's
So
right.
what works for Tim to stay motivated is different than what works for you. And that is so
Absolutely.
important to understand
Yep.
because you're two individuals you're coming together for this great thing. Do you think your fitness level helps? Like, do you think your dancing in the kitchen helps your fitness level, and the stuff you do outside of dancing helps your dancing? Do you think?
I think the fitness level definitely helps the dancing,
Yeah.
because my workout routine is very different than Tim's. I'm I'm not racing. I do my actually a dance friend of mine from college. She and her husband had owned a gym, and during COVID, she started these old school 1980s step aerobics, step workout with the interval, and trust me, these are real small weights for me.
That's
Um,
fine.
it works for me. So there's movement, there's dance, there's
There's
cardio,
fun,
there's
fun.
strength, there's fun. I'm by myself. I'm downstairs. Everybody has their own style. It could be 30 minutes. It could be 50 minutes or an hour, whatever I can squeeze in that day. It's fluid. And I love it. And it's so different than Tim's hardcore workout. Yeah.
And just, I'm not doing the hardcore like step or what is it called? Hit. I'm not doing anything like that. I just do my
Yep.
own, like a half-hour lift, about 45 in cardio. And my cardio consists of either, I'm a Stairmaster freak. I love Stairmaster. I run 3 days a week in addition to that. So I always shoot for cardio's 800 to 1,000 calories per workout in addition to a half-hour lift.
Good for you. And I love that we just talked about that, because you guys are like, what you just said is the example of what I try to tell people all the time. It's not like I just said, it's what works for you doesn't. If
Yeah.
Sally down the street is running marathons, that does not mean that you have to run marathons. You got to stay in your own lane and do what
Right.
you can stay consistent with.
Yep.
So I love that. I love that about you guys. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
mine's
No.
changed over the years based on my work schedule,
Yes.
schedule with my children. So I haven't always done that. I used to go to a gym, and if I could get 20 minutes on, an elliptical machine, that's all I could get that night. And if I could get there twice a week, that was it, because I just made it work for me. So it definitely has changed and morphed over time.
And I think that's important, though. I think that's important to recognize that, like, you have to kind of adapt to your circumstances.
That's
If you're
right.
too regimented and be like, I have to do this, no matter what else is going on in my life, the chances of you not sticking with it are pretty good.
That's right.
So you guys have a really good fitness mindset. I give you an A+.
Yeah.
So I love, and we've talked a lot about this, that your videos are so fun and full of laughter and energy. But as we talked about before, life isn't always easy for people. So what's your advice for someone who feels like stuck or overwhelmed or even completely disconnected from their body and is waiting to feel motivated before they start moving? I know that your account is not a fitness account, but I think dancing and moving your body is a form of exercise. So I'm going to ask you that question. I'm going to treat you like fitness experts. What is advice that you would give to somebody?
Well, I think different types of music resonate for different people. Some people are huge old school, let's say they're rock and rollers or any type of music that moves them. It doesn't have to be old school 80s dance music. It could be, anything. It could be peaceful sort of Zen music, if it does, whatever music moves somebody would be a really nice place to start. It's like, how does that move you? Or what is that telling your body to do? And just any type of, whether it's country, whether it's, big band music, or it could just be real peaceful, soulful jazz music, any type of music. I think if that resonates with somebody, I think if they can just move their body to it, it doesn't have to be learning a country and Western line dance or anything that would cause them stress. Just see what the
body does.
Yeah, what the body does to the music that they love. And there's so many different genres out there,
I love that.
So I've done this over the years. I have friends that are buddies that are, they can't get off their couch. And I said, look, get out with me and let's start just start with a walk. Just start with a walk. Don't go to a gym and start lifting. Yeah, that's where you're going to hurt yourself. Just start with a walk, whether it's a mile, then work your way up to 2 miles and just start slow. I forget what the average length of time to form a habit. I want to say it's like
66 days. It's 66 days.
No, it was 60 something. Okay. And because after 66 days, most people they fall off the cliff and they just stop there. So that's the key, is try to get past that 66-day stage. There's a book, Carly, maybe you know about this or maybe you don't. I assume you're familiar. It's called Younger Next Year.
I am not familiar with that book, but now I will be.
Younger Next Year is a book written by a couple, I think it's 2 guys. I read it not because I needed it, but I wanted to see, I wanted to kind of prove like what I'm doing, it works. It's for people that just don't, it's never too late to start getting in shape. And that book, it I gave it to so many people and it really helped them a lot. So it's just a little tidbit. Younger next year.
So when I get off here, I'm going to order it on Amazon because it sounds like a book that would help me with my clients.
It would help you. It wouldn't help you because you're
right. But it will help me. I'm perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
I'll tell my kids you said that. They would disagree, but I'm going to tell them you said that. So this is a fun question.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I'm curious, I'm going to ask both of you. So ladies first. Tolly, I'm going to ask you first. What is your favorite song that you've danced to with Tim? And what would be your dream collaboration as far as an artist or a band?
Wow.
And let's just say like it could be living or dead. Let's broaden it.
So dance wise, I love, and it's not that popular, but it resonates with me. It's an old school 80s funk song called Play at Your Own Risk. So yeah,
okay.
It's a great song. And I dancing with Tim or without Tim, it doesn't matter to me. That's my
you, Tim. She's taking it on. She's taking it on by herself.
Like nobody like the song, like there. It's so cool, as they say, deep.
Okay. Good answer, Tolly. He's amazing.
I love his choreography, his concerts. I love how he moves to his music. I just love him. Yeah.
That's a great answer. That's great. I love him too.
Yes,
he's the real deal.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great job, Tolly. Tim, you're on.
God, the pressure. I mean, like the play at your own risk. That was one of the songs I would play when I was the DJ, and it was such a huge hit. There's so many. I can't narrow it down to one song.
The first one that comes to your head besides what you just said, like the first one that pops.
You won that airband competition.
Well, that was but that was a rock and roll song. But it's
that's okay.
Which one?
Rick
James. Yeah. When we were in college, I won the first ever that they an airband competition, and it was like 1,000 people in the audience. I won the first two I won the first one by myself solo. There's a rock and roll. If you remember Rush, the group Rush.
Yeah.
The song Tom Sawyer. I can do every single drum to that entire song. And the whole place was like, how does he know this? Every part of this drum. The next year I got 7 of my friends, including 3 girls. Tolly was not in it.
No.
Mary Jane, 3 Mary Jane girls. It was Rick James. And I had the full Rick James gear on. And it was,
my goodness.
It was Give It To Me, Baby. So, that was, that's just a great song. Any Rick James.
Gap Band.
Band.
Yeah,
I mean, we love Jeffrey Osborne. We love, there's so many. Our favorite band of all time by far, and we both agree on this, growing up, because my dad was he just loved horns. He loved brass. And he taught us, he's like Earth, Wind & Fire, Chicago. So Earth, Wind & Fire was our favorite group of all time. However, what I want to collab, they lost their key. Maurice White died in the 1990s. So
yeah,
I would say, I'm a massive fan of Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
You guys, these are great answers. Yeah, he's awesome.
Justin Timberlake is like, we went to see him twice. When he came to Philly, we saw him twice in the same year. That dude is just on another planet.
He's amazing. He's so talented.
Yeah.
So talented.
Yeah.
Wow. Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake. Those are great answers.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Told me that there's like 100 others I'd like to add, but I'm just throwing those names out there.
Well, this is a pressure situation, so you have to do what you have to do to answer the question. So that is just what first popped into your head.
Well, and also, so Snoop, massive Snoop fan. Snoop reposted us in our second month. He reposted us doing a great song of Houdini called 5 Minutes of Funk. And he reposted it to his 88 million followers. So I'm always grateful to Snoop because I love the guy.
He is I think he's done such a good job reinventing himself and staying relevant. I have so much respect for him. I think he's fantastic.
Yep.
Okay, last question, because I know you're busy. You have a wedding to plan for, but okay. So 30 years from now, when your or maybe less, that seems like maybe not 30, maybe 30, it was the wrong number to say. Yeah, okay, 30, whatever. When your grandkids are watching these videos, what do you hope they learn about love, aging, and living a full life?
Well, at
just
that
like
point,
one sound bite.
Well, just lean into it, lean in, because the more you lean in, the more you're going to get out of it. What's that line from that movie? You get, rather than you get busy living, rather than you get busy dying,
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a great line. You just get busy living, lean
I love
in.
that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, at that stage, 30 years from now, we'll be in our 90s and hopefully we'll be. So just FYI, we are working with a legendary
Oh,
producer.
come on.
I have to give him a plug.
Say it.
We're working with a legendary producer. His name is DJ Eddie F. DJ Eddie F produced, he was one of the boys of Heavy D and the Boys. He produced Heavy D. He produced Al B. Shore, Johnny Gill, so many other great acts. He reached out to us because he saw the dance party we had here in Philly. So we're working with him closely to take old school dance parties and launch them nationally and going from city to city. So that's hopefully in our 90s, we'll still be doing those. That's the goal.
I'm sure you will be. You're doing everything right. And I can't thank you enough. You guys, now I love you even more. So it's like, because now I know that you're really nice. Like you really are as nice as you come across in your videos. So keep doing what you're doing. I'll be watching. I so appreciate you taking the time to talk to me on a Saturday.
We loved meeting you, and thank you for having us. You're wonderful as well.
Thank you.
And when we bring a dance party to, I believe you're in Boston, you better be, or we will find you.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
I will be. I'm going to find you to find me. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me on Fit in Fitness. My hope is that every episode inspires you to see movement as medicine for your body, mind, and spirit. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please follow the show, share it with a friend, and keep moving forward, one step, rep, or breath at a time. Until next time, keep fitting in fitness wherever life takes you.